Being in a different city every day, I'm very, very restless. I don't like being in one place for too long, so that's the best feeling in the world. And there didn't used to be one. I used to hate not being on tour. Lately, I've been writing a lot more songs, lately doing a lot more studio work, even when the Somerset's not making records, and I moved to Los Angeles, California, and for the first time ever, I kind of feel like I actually have a home base that I enjoy, where it used to be I'd hate going home from tour because I didn't like going home. So now I do miss being home because I have kind of a newfound life at home, and a lot of productivity I accomplish when I'm off the road as far as songwriting. Headphones and Mickey Mouse. I mean, they're very similar to the fans that come to our shows here are very, very similar to our fans in the U.S. The only major difference is we don't come here as often, so the demand over here is very different. There's a certain level of energy where I think people appreciate here because they don't get to see these American bands as often as American fans do. So the energy when we play shows here is very unique. Legendary, compared to our previous release, which was Everything's Fine, is a lot less an album about relationships. It's more an album about, I had a mentor, a songwriter friend of mine, tell me I needed to live first and write later, and I had just moved to LA, and it was a very interesting time for me. I was going out a lot. This was just, for me, an album about just certain moments of my life during last summer where I was having the most fun I've ever had. It changes every tour, which is a good feeling because that means I'm proud of the entire album. We're playing a lot of new songs on this tour. It's really hard to pick. Some days it's Lightning in a Bottle, some days it's Rescue. Maybe Tonight is usually one of the loudest, but Boomerang is the most popular, so it's really hard to choose. Man, it's a good feeling to know that I've done almost everything I can really think of. I would probably find Emma Watson and kiss her. I'm gonna go with that. I talk too much. The Shawshank Redemption. How I Met Your Mother, or currently How I Met Your Mother. Thunder Road by Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen and his band. I mean, it's always been Bruce Springsteen for me. Used to be LA, but now I live there, so I don't really call it visiting anymore. London or New York? English. French, that's a lie, definitely French. Nothing too extraordinary. I mean, Somerset fans are very, very passionate fans. So, and we meet them in the most random places. I've run into fans of our band at cafes in LA near my house, from movie theaters to places I would never expect, and that doesn't really creep me out. So, I wouldn't really ever call it creepy. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I don't feel guilty for any of the pleasures I listen to. I have a lot of just proud, I don't, no, because I don't believe in that. If you love something, you should by no means ever feel frowned upon for doing so. I think that's the silliest thing in the entire world. I think feeling guilty for loving something is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Lots of touring. We're doing a North American tour right after this with our friends in 303, and then we're playing the Macy's Day Parade in New York on Thanksgiving, which is the second biggest, most televised event in the U.S., so we're very, very excited about that. Then we're going to Australia before the year's over, and then we're working on our plans for next year as we speak. Not really. Give me a few drinks and we'll try this later. I sure hope so. Check out our new album. It's called Legendary.